kindly agree to grace our discussion with their presence and most valuable gifts. Honorable Mr. Armenian-India, members of the extraordinary and plenipotentiary of
our special panelists also include Mr. V.V. Soni, former and the first ambassador of India to Armenia from 1992 to 1999. Armenia from 2009 to 2012. Last but not the least, may I please welcome our moderator for the day, Dr. Amitav Singh, Associate Professor, School of International Studies, JNU.
Good afternoon. Namaste. Today we have some inconvenience with the microphone, but I will try to do it without microphone. I think it's better. First of all, Armenian Cultural Center congratulates all of us with 25 years of India-Armenia diplomatic ties. Thanks all guests who are participating here. Precious moments in Armenia, and also our famous painter, Armenian painter, who had got Jawaharlal Nehru Award in India, and she has paintings related with India also. This year was International Food Festival, was Armenia also participated there, and the Indians interestingly liked Armenian food very much. Also, in Women's Day, in Indira Gandhi National Center for the Arts, we had panel discussion of the seminar. Armenian Cultural Center represented there also. Armenian women. Hope for further cooperation with them. Thank you once again. Thank you so much for coming here, being here with us.
Connection is the most important thing to bring two nations together, and this people-to-people connection is creating such a measure that it starts from people and it goes up to trade, commerce, and business traditions. Everything comes together, and two vibrant nations, two ancient nations come together on that note. We have lots of programs scheduled this year for Mr. Ambassador. We are trying to work out certain programs where we will have a thorough discussion with you before we bring it on platform. Chess competition will be there this year, and we are deliberating that the Chess Federation of Armenia is partnered with us in that, so that we can give it some recognition on a higher note, so that the youth of both countries come and participate in greater number.
what is Armenia? As you see the exhibition, it is very interesting country. In our petroglyphs, in which have more than 100,000 years of story, and now the symbol of sun and eternity, the swastika, is have the shape of the right picture. In Armenia, we use this one, this shape. So also our there are many names, common names here in India, which I see. There are Seth, Gohar, Kochar, Bartal, Kalantar, Nair, Ananya, Aram, Arman, Zoravar. These are common names in both in Armenia and in India. First written reference to Indo-Armenian relationship was found in the ancient Greek writer Xenophon's Gyropedia, which is a Persian exhibition. So from the work we come to know that Armenians often traveled to India and entered the military service there. When Cyrus, the king of Persia of 5th century BC, came to know that Khals and Armenians often visit India, and they are very well acquainted with India, he asked them to accompany his ambassador there to develop and strengthen the trade relations between this country. Armenians for over many centuries were visiting India mostly for trading purpose, and they were very well aware of the both sea and sea route, the overland route to Armenia. Thank you very much.
Not much research done on Armenians in India or India-Armenian relationship, in which the ambassadors would agree with. But at our center, we'll take this up in a serious way, and we'll welcome our students to do research on this area.
India attaches importance to its friendship with Armenia, and India-Armenia political relations are marked by warmth, cordiality, and convergence of views on several issues of mutual interest, including those with the international relations. India appreciates the continued support that Armenia and various international forums, including UNSC forms. Various international mechanisms exist between our countries which further consolidate our relations. India and Armenia have so far concluded over 35 agreements covering diverse areas of possible cooperation. Bilateral trade and investment between India and Armenia are modest. During 2015-16, the bilateral trade, as per the Indian statistics, stood around US $36.2 million. But there is a lot of scope that we should do to tap the full potential of this. The two countries enjoy excellent cooperative relationship and political, official, and cultural relations between the people. Thank you.
I believe it's always beneficial to be a last speaker, especially if the previous ones, have very successfully covered contemporary relations as distinguished representative of the Ministry of External Affairs, Deputy Joint Secretary Mrs. Chitra Suresh. Let me tell you that there is a big interest in Armenia among the youth towards India as a new rising power. We hope that realization of the North-South International Transport Corridor will bring Armenia and the South Caucasus to the radar, to the geo-economic radar of India. Today, for good or for bad, Armenia is below the radar, geopolitical radar of India. Armenia doesn't make headlines in Indian mass media, with the exception of Kim Kardashian, probably, And sometimes, the chess games between Armenian chess player Levona Aronyan and Arad. Otherwise, there is a lack of awareness, lack of information between two societies. Again, for objective and for subjective reasons. That is why, this kind of interaction, this kind of discussions could be very, very useful, very important, especially dealing and talking to the youth is very inspiring to me as a diplomat, as a representative of Armenia, because I believe that it is you that to have build this country further, take this country further, and I'm very glad that, as rightly was mentioned by Mr. Anand, that interaction between the civil societies, in particular of Armenia and India, is very, very important. So, in this regard, we attach great importance to the development of tourism between India and Armenia, and I'm very glad to mention that during the last years we have a very modest rise of number of tourists visiting India, visiting from India to Armenia. I was told during my stay in Yerevan that there recently a third Indian restaurant was opened and is functional nowadays in Yerevan. And today with Christina Sarkisyan, she is a representative of Armenian diaspora in India, who are working quite hard to bring Armenia into the focus of travel agencies in India. So although around the world, in all countries, mostly in all countries, we have big Armenian communities, and they are very instrumental in building bridges between Armenia and a country. in our case, as it was rightly mentioned, we used to have a big Armenian presence in India, but for whatever reasons, today the number of Armenians is very, very small. But the quality, despite the the low quantity of the numbers, the quality-wise, I think we have the best educated representatives of Armenian community in India, and the embassy is looking forward for cooperation with all of you. We received a scholarship from, for example, from IIT Madras, the leading Indian university, which has established cooperation with the Russian Armenian University in Yerevan. They granted this scholarship, but because of climate, because of hot climate and humidity, my fellow compatriots, regrettably, they don't come for a long stay.
I think they read the newspaper carefully, the poor quality of air in India.
No, I mean, away from New Delhi, I can manifest from my personal experience the quality of air is, better. The only problem in this regard is, of course, New Delhi. But again, this is only the problem is climate, because Armenian youth is very eager and keen to go for studies abroad, and the government has different programs supporting Armenian students to go abroad. So mainly they prefer the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany. Japan, we have a number of students also in Japan. Even in China, we have, approximately, I learned very recently in Yerevan, we have in Beijing approximately 45 students. But climate is, so far has been a major obstacle. But despite, this problem, I do hope that, modern communication technologies enable us to establish, a virtual cooperation. And this is, as I believe, is a very promising field for our countries.
To have the adjective of first is a great psychological boost in life. So for me to be the first happened in Armenia when I was accredited as the first resident ambassador. Well, then we diplomats survive more on our memories in retirement. Armenia, where I served from November 99 to April 2002, gave me memories equal to my other 8 postings. So when I look back, even when maybe in dreams, Armenia haunts me. What is special about Armenia? I can only say that India and Armenia are not merely geographic entities. They represent the civilizational aspects of humanity.
This effort would be worth being taken. So having said that, I don't really want to go into the history, because in any case, Naira has not left any scope for us to speak about the minutest details about India-Armenia relations. His Excellency has supplemented. Chitra has given an overview of what we are thinking about these relations these days. But just a couple of observations that I wanted to make was that the history of human civilization is broadly divided into 3 phases: ancient, medieval, and modern. And you look at any phase and you will find that there was some Indians and Armenians had something to do with each other. I have tried to really find out, and I could not find out even a single small little irritant between the relations of our two countries. This is a very happy situation, I think, but a word of caution that this should not make us complacent about it. So with a wishful thinking that 25th anniversary will be a landmark, is a landmark. We have many more years to come. And we will be able to find out some niche areas where we will be able to cooperate and collaborate as two independent countries. IT is one area which we have done. I think we should look for the strengths of Armenia. I know for sure astrophysics, disaster management, these are some of the areas where the Armenians are doing very well. And these are the areas, niche areas where we should be able to forge closer relations and take our bilateral relations to the higher levels. With this wishful thinking, I would like to conclude, and once again my best wishes and congratulations to all of you, all the members of the Center and the Friendship Society, and I am at your disposal as whatever little I can do towards contributing towards the promotion of understanding between the two countries, our promotion of relations between our two countries. I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you.
Ambassador Malhotra was quite right in saying one of the few countries in the world where we have no negative vibes or issues. And I can tell you from my personal experience that when I went, I was the last resident Indian ambassador. He was the first one. So during the period I was there, we tried to do quite a lot of things to pave the ground for our relationship moving forward. There is no, as you said, there's no unequal partner. We are all equal partners, and I mean, I am amazed at the love and affection whenever I visited Armenia in remotest parts. You name India and you will see what a reaction it would be. So that is the reaction which we expect. Unfortunately, in India, there is a lack of knowledge. It's not to be blamed on anybody else. It's just that Indians have far too many things going for themselves. It's a huge nation. You cannot possibly let such a huge population that we have. You can't possibly convert all of them or inform all of them. So that's why the initiative which have been taken by this particular group is something very remarkable. I would also say that you talked about your excellency about promotion of tourism. I think that is definitely an issue which needs to be taken up. Indians are now having a lot of money and they are spending a lot of money. They're traveling to various places and they want to go off the beaten track. They do not want to go to Switzerland, they don't want to go to UK, they want to go to new places. So Central Asia and Eastern Europe are the areas where they are trying to go out. I am associated with a group called Global Achievers Foundation, and they award prizes to people who do very well in their respective field. They say, please take us and organize your functions in a country which is much more friendlier, much more different, because we have seen enough of the things. So maybe Armenia could be, because I took them to two places 2 years back, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan, and they loved it. And I think if you permit me, maybe I'll ask them to include Armenia as the next stop, because they should see what Armenia is all about, so that needs to be done.
So it was but now not any other
Yük